It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field.
Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Seattle Seahawks.
Here now to get us started is Logan Cook.
And off we go from Seattle.
From the 6. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Let's go now. Panther 11, 18 Rattlers.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. This one complete to Lacy. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook, not just the plays and how to execute it, but how to do it against a variety of defenses, also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Come on.
Now ETN to start the drive.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Page. He's going to wind up and air it out.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Page. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. On first down, Page airing it out, looking for Ridley.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
First carry here for Ken Walker.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And Walker with it over the middle. And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down?
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. Well, the fake punt gets only a yard, but that's enough to pick up the first. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief in, hey, we're going to get it done.
Give them 32 on the play. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great effort there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Seahawks are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it's now 14-0. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Looking to throw on second down. Page. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Looking deep downfield and unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
Call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. They've got his man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that as he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, Page.
He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Page.
He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A big play that time on the catch and run. 34 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Page. Man open. That's Calvin Ridley. And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. 1st down in the red zone. It's a gain of 19 down to the 19, and it's a 1st down.
Let's go.
21-0 our score after 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again.
And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
2nd and 4. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now this offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Their mobile, agile quarterback keeping it himself from 8 yards out.
And the Seahawks are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
Let's go now.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. This one complete to Christian Kirk. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the gun on 3rd down. Page flushed out right. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting him a few yards.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Buying time to his left. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. To throw on 2nd down. Page. His throw incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
He'll decide to keep this once more.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Fielded at the 33.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jaguars are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off play action. Page trying to lay one up deep. But his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Seahawks will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, that is interception number 4 for him, Charles. 4 here in the first half alone, and they're already trailing by 4 possessions.
Makes me wonder, partner, do they just not have any confidence at all in the backup, or do they just have that much confidence in him? Able to throw 4 picks already? They're certainly...
And that's caught inside the 35. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Hey, check that. Back on 80. 60 Bobcat.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And my goodness, another interception.
Tariq Woolen picks it, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And there was one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
And some room to run now. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Travis Etienne, 40 yards. And the Jaguars are able to cut into that deficit.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 28-7 ball game.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a second down.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
He's going to float this one deep right side.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Seahawks.
DK Metcalf.
Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend,
as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And it's a fumble, and the Jags grab it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
He was having success there holding on to it on the option, but ultimately problems downfield, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and this is a tough one because you know you'd prefer to have your quarterback either heading to the sidelines or getting down at the end of the play. But you've got an aggressive one. He's fighting for extra yardage, and he gets stripped there. You don't need him to be a hero in that situation. You want your quarterback taking care of himself.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
And they'll go again with Etienne.
It's a room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
55 rushing yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
On the counter, Etienne.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Page.
That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackle.
tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Seahawks will take over possession here up at the 44.
What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It give it and it take it away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
Back to Walker on first down.
Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They'll try and run right on the option. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Another tote for Etienne.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
A handoff running left is Etienne.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Straight ahead, Etienne.
And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
107 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Up the middle, Nwangu.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their 1st time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Here we go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And my goodness, another interception.
Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
He'll keep it himself.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
And Walker once more.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook that can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
Here we go. Set.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball.
And that's caught inside the 35.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
And they run the option on 2nd down.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Flush to his right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
The trick play works. He's got the first. He will have the conversion and more than that.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll set up a throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
Second and 10.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for